The opening scene is Geraldine looking at the surrounding terrain to prepare for exploration. Right after that, he used his magic to destroy the obstacles around, create a space flat for people to farm. Butler Jode in the back saw that, also ordered everyone start working. Geraldine was about to leave when she was interrupted by Jode and asked him to use magic over there. Makes him just sigh because of fatigue. The scene changes. Geraldine now used magic to teleport back to his home. That is a big villa with medieval style that we often see, although work is tiring. But Gildeline was greeted by 4 extremely beautiful wives. Above all, they get along very well with each other. Makes I also have to exclaim that kings are just like that. Sit on the sofa. Enjoy a cup of tea with a zikfa. Geraldine started talking about today again. Then familiar memories from 15 years ago start back. Remember 15 years ago, Geraldine is still an office guy. Normal 8-hour workday. At this moment, Geraldine was dragging her tired body back after a tiring day at work at the company. Then Geraldine started cooking a simple meal like every day. While sitting at the table waiting for the rice to cook, Geraldine's eyes were closed with sleepiness. When open eyes, Geraldine saw before his eyes a plate of food with the design style of ancient Western nobility. Then look at yourself through the metal disc and see myself now as a 5-year-old child. Geraldine's eyes slowly looked up into the distance and around. Geraldine, now find yourself at a noble party. But Geraldine still thought she was dreaming. Just want to close my eyes to return to reality. A sound from the middle-aged man called him awake. While Geraldine was still bewildered, surprised and shocked, then a young man, 8 parts like me, walked up behind him and introducing Geraldine with everyone. Geraldine continued to keep an observant attitude towards the surroundings, and in your heart also accepted that I have been reincarnated into a new world, and this is completely foreign to you, but a little scared. Gildeline's current mood is to enjoy yourself, having left far from the days of selling oneself to capitalism. Then Geraldine sat next to Ezek. Eat and get a little information from this brother of mine. Maybe because he felt Geraldine, currently just a 5-year-old boy, Ezek also does not think that his younger brother was reincarnated by a person from Earth. Ezek just smiled and said that for now they are attending another brother's wedding. Eric also said that their father had a headache when choosing a partner for Crush, and finally found the right girl. Gildeline also learned from Ezek's mouth his family is now a genuine aristocrat. Look at the party design with delicious food. Gildeline thought her family must be very rich. So Geraldine became cheerful and began to enjoy her food, then dream of a happy life later. That happy smile was gone the next morning. At family breakfast time, Geraldine is sitting at the dining table now. Still the same space, but everything seems to have changed 180 degrees. The present is a normal scene. So normal. Tables and chairs made of rotten wood, now wearing a white cloth. The surrounding walls are in some places dilapidated, and the paintings were also covered with dust. Must say is food. Just a few dry pieces of bread, Gildeline exclaimed. It's really hard to swallow. Gildeline now looked to his father and asked about Ezek. Learned that his brother who went out fishing had returned. Geraldine ran out and go follow him to ask questions. After a while, Geraldine finally became disillusioned. Their family is noble, is true, but really poor. What I saw yesterday, it is their family that wants to display, show a face for the world to see. Take what is beautiful. Best to welcome guests at the event, wedding for his brother. Geraldine looked around her house, also began to see the servant is removing the cloth to cover poverty of my family. Geraldine continued walking via Ezek towards the water tap. You are wondering that. My family, including myself, has 3 children. I must still have some rights, right? Suddenly, a bunch of Gildeline's brothers appeared. Rough calculation, then detailed calculation. Gildeline realized, so, I am the 8th son of this noble family. It took Gildeline a moment to regain her composure. Along with information on Gildeline, has located the family on the map, as well as surrounding areas. Simply, you are living in a family with about 800 people, with the status of the 8th child. Geraldine has her life figured out. Suddenly, a rustling sound from afar made Geraldine notice. Only saw 3 of his brothers saying goodbye to his mother. It seems they will go somewhere very far, and it will take a long time to get back. Geraldine rushed over and asked. Geraldine just learned that her 3 brothers renounce its inheritance and go out and find a job to support yourself with a poor noble family like them. The eldest brother is the heir, and the reserve is the second brother. Eric also bent down to pat Gerdeline's head and advise you that if you are still such a bum, later grow up will be very miserable. After a while, both sides said goodbye to each other. His brothers will go looking for a new path. Gildeline returned to the family study and start searching useful information from books, but for a long time still have not found anything valuable, making Geraldine extremely disappointed. When Geraldine was about to climb down the ladder, he accidentally dropped a crystal ball with a piece of paper next to it. When I found out it was a magic ball, along with magic test information from paper, Geraldine also thought it was a joke. Because you don't believe it exists, but knowing that there will only be 1 in 1,000 people, new chance to become a magician. Geraldine still think I will not be the one to possess magic power, but Geraldine did not give up and tried it. After a while, the sudden light made Geraldine extremely surprised. This signal also makes a handsome guy, some long hair, in the woods nearby pay attention. Geraldine identifies herself as possessing magical powers, so quickly turned the study upside down to search for magic books. But all in vain. Even when his father walked in, the only information that Geraldine, get it, you can't read it. Geraldine had to go back into the forest to collect firewood, but still not giving up hope. Geraldine tried to draw a magic circle that existed in past life novels, hold a tree like a wand, and start changing. Surprisingly, nothing happened. Just see a fool. Suddenly, his figure is handsome, appeared behind Geraldine, made him alert and extremely surprised. The handsome Kia reassured Geraldine. Then introduce yourself as a magician. Suddenly, the rock at the cliff below cracked and fell on the wild boar below. This made it angry and it charged towards the 2 people. Geraldine was terrified. Just turn around and run away. But the magician stopped him. Then hold his hand, head towards the wild boar and help Geraldine stimulate magic attack wild boar. This blow only made it fall down, then stood up and ran towards the 2 people. Seeing this, Geraldine's fear returned. This handsome magician Kia this time quickly stood up front. Raise your hand towards that ferocious wild boar and cast defense magic. This blow is extremely powerful. It sent the wild boar flying far away. Giant body. VA continuously hit a series of cow trees behind, make them fall down. Witness such a scene. Geraldine was extremely surprised and looked back at the magician behind him. But he just smiled gently at Geraldine. Then introduced. So, is a former member of the Magic Council in the kingdom. Baker with the title AZ. 2 people looking straight at each other. Geraldine only heard after Z. Assure yourself that you will become a greater wizard than you. The scene changes. Geraldine was appearing at the breakfast table at this moment. The next day, Geraldine is sitting with her family at the moment. Look at the cup of tea with such pale color. Geraldine wondered innocently, is this tea of yesterday? heard that Geraldine's family immediately unhappy and asserted that this was of today. Hearing that, Geraldine could only say in her heart, really different. What else is different? Then it is a cup of tea, which Geraldine's master hosted him in the woods behind the castle. His family returned yesterday after witnessing the magic trick with magic bag containing items that the old master brought along. Geraldine was still in shock. When sitting at the tea table, Aphrodite proposed teach magic to Geraldine. Hear that, he wondered and also expressed that he had no money. But Aphrodite expressed that she did not need money. That wish have a disciple to pass on magical knowledge. Geraldine probably got the point. He was no longer hesitant and quickly called later the one-word master, while ensuring will do anything to receive the transmission of After Z. The two people sat down at the tea table and faced each other. Aphrodite desires Geraldine will keep this a secret. See the boy wondering. Aphrodite explained that if the crowd found out Geraldine possessed magic, will definitely shake to position his family inheritance. Geraldine obviously didn't think this position will fall on your head and asserted that he was only the 8th child of the alphabet family. Smiled and said Geraldine basically don't know the value of a magician. This was enough to turn Geraldine become an heir. Geraldine returns to reality, but looked at the elder brother seriously, sitting next to. He still remembered his master's words that if Ra was exposed now, perhaps the struggle for power is just would be dangerous to a childlike. So Geraldine decided to keep this a secret. After breakfast, Geraldine made an excuse to go out, find food to meet Aphrodite. This is also the first day Geraldine will be taught knowledge of magic. To teachers and students standing next to a small river, Aphrodite said now, want to find the right talent for Geraldine. See, the boy is still wondering. Aphrodite patiently explained that it was a search training method for fusion, an ability that matches the amount of mana that Geraldine owns. Hearing that, Geraldine's eyes lit up and said his question to Ra, is that the method? Will cause the amount of mana to be in his body he became as strong as Aphrodite. Consider as agreed. Aphrodite takes Geraldine's hand and said he started to feel the circulation of mana. In the body, Geraldine closed her eyes. Feel the mana flow like what Aphrodite said. A stream of air surrounded the two people. Geraldine successfully sensed mana. After, she seemed to be very happy and said that the amount of mana stored in every person's body from birth is limited. Cannot increase it. The recent inspection has also caused Aphrodite realized that the amount of mana Gelderland's limits are more than yours. He hasn't even reached that limit yet. But the amount of mana has already surpassed Aphrodite's level. This can only be confirmed if Geraldine study hard. The future will certainly surpass this teacher of mine. At this time, in the Gelderland family study, his father is inside. Gelderland's elder brother also entered. Maybe want to find father something. The father pays attention to his eldest son. Then look at the position of the ball. Magic has been changed. Wondering with the eldest son. The father remembered the scene of Geraldine again. Made a mess in the study yesterday. Along with the words that Geraldine, referring to the use of magic. Then the father burst out laughing. Know the reason. The elder brother also laughed. Obviously, they assumed Geraldine is lying somewhere, crying for not having mana. In the person, no one thinks Geraldine will be special among thousands. But the two people did not expect the child they looked down on was using mana and performed simple magic. Aphrodite now returned and saw this. On hand, just holding the basket of food, just collected 10. Just praised Gelderland. He just humbly said that it was because after school taught well. Gelderland saw the teacher return with a basket of food in his hand, then wondered. Alfred smiled and said that this was an excuse for Geraldine. Get out of the house for whatever before you go. He said go behind the mountain to find food. Sure enough, right at dinner that night, Geraldine's work brought home a basket of food that attracted the family's attention. However, they do not think much about it. Geldelin can use magic. Only the eldest brother was suspicious. Transition now. Aphrodite is holding Geraldine. And soar in the sky. He is teaching Geraldine now how to use wind magic and perception magic. Geraldine can try combining the two together to hunt winged animals. After a while of explaining, Geraldine also tasted the monoflow transport and feel around. After a moment, Geraldine felt the presence of a bird flying in the distance. Lock it. Geraldine start using wind magic on the rubble, causing it to shoot straight towards the bird. Sure hit the nail on the head after that hit. The bird also lost the ability to act. After a while, both of them also had the blessing of eating from that bird. After a few simple cooking steps is grilling over fire, combined with wasabi, finally created a masterpiece. Aphrodite sees strange ingredients, immediately imitate Gelderlin and pour it on. The piece of meat was bitten down like that, making Geraldine feel a little scared. Because no one eats but eats a large amount of wasabi like that without any expression. Alpha Zet continued chatting with Geldeline as usual about not going deep into that forest because that place contains many dangerous monsters. But at the same time, there are many rare herbs. Many people because of their value but never return. Geldeline talks about her story again. These past few days, it seems Geldeline noticed his older brother was watching him. And pay close attention to you. Alphabet listened once and guessed the story. Perhaps Gildeline's elder brother suspected he could use magic. Fear of losing the position of heir. Geraldine naturally did not want that position. Aphrodite immediately suggested that Geraldine should become an adventurer. When Geldeline was still dreaming about the future, free to travel around. Then do not pay attention. After face, Z has turned pale. From his hand, many black clouds were emitted. It seems like you are going through a feeling. Extremely annoying. But Mouth just mumbled, "That please give me a little more time." That evening, on the dining table, Geraldine said the intention. My future is to become an adventurer. And I will leave at 52 years old to attend college. Adventurers are excited about the future. Later, his smile suddenly disappeared when he heard that their family did not have enough money to give Geraldine. Steady there. The next morning, Geraldine was introduced to this vast world by Aphrodite. First of all is their location, then where Geraldine wants to go in the future. However, from there to here is an extremely long distance, so Z wants Geraldine to learn flying first. When become proficient, Geraldine can move at any speed. Just finish. Aphrodite hugs Geldeline and lets him experience Geldeline's body lifted straight up into the sky at lightning speed. What a Yomos feeling for Geldeline. In just a moment, the two figures were in the sky. Geraldine could now see the vastness of the world's largest. It's like your future. Perhaps feel your own time. No more. The next day, while Geraldine was practicing her flying magic, Aphrodite said that tomorrow will be the last lesson. Hear this sentence. Geraldine immediately became distracted and fell to the green grass below. Geraldine's eyes became extremely lost and sad. Look towards Aphrodite and said that she is still weak. Still want Aphrodite to transfer more. But after the eyes become serious, looked straight at Geraldine and said he could do it. Without you, maybe this is also a farewell after. Z is for his student. That evening, Geraldine's spirit become essay down because of this farewell. While still in a daze looking at the plate of food, the information your father is telling woke Geraldine up. Just heard his father say that in the forest near the castle, the dead are appearing, something that has a human body, but the contact temperature is cold, then pale, will initially retain human reason, but later will become aggressive zombies and attack human work. I heard this trait matches Aphrodite. After meals, Gildeline immediately went to find her teacher. In the dark of the forest, a small figure, trying his best to increase his flying speed deep into the forest. After a while, Geraldine saw her respected master. As soon as I saw Geraldine, I ran back and pulled the trigger towards the castle. Because you think, if the master meets the spirit, it will be extremely dangerous. Alphazette just gently let go of the little student's hand, of mine out and confidence. Of course Gildeline knew what Alphazette was about to say. But Goldline, I don't want to believe that my master is an evil spirit. Alphazette admits that he is a dead spirit. Moreover, because Geraldine was afraid that she would run away when they first met. Alphazette also tells about his past, because he wanted to find herbs to save the Count's son, which Alphazette is almost next to. So he led the army into the deep forest. Great war with more than 20,000 monsters, but eventually ran out of mana and died. Because of this regret, Alphabet turned himself into a dead spirit, with the desire to find disciples to pass on throughout 35 knowledge. And a dead spirit can go peacefully, is when their wishes are fulfilled. Now Aphrodite has found a very satisfactory disciple. He wanted the gilded Lin hand to cleanse him. Hearing that, Geraldine shook her head in refusal. How is this different? Geraldine killed her master with her own hands. But E for Z, don't want to become a zombie. Live violently kill. So consider this as a final request. A for Z is for Geraldine. Is to want his students' self-purification. After a mental struggle. Even if seeing the baptism does, Aphrodite becomes pained. Even though there were many times Geraldine wanted to stop this, Geraldine finally overcame this barrier. He bowed his head to thank Aphrodite for a short time, just 2 weeks, but Geraldine got a lot in return. A smile of contentment is the gift that Aphrodite gives for Geraldine as a goodbye. When Geraldine finished the purification spell, that's when Offset disappeared. Looking into the endless darkness around with empty space, Geraldine learns that her master has passed away. 5-year-old boy now, just cry out loud when having to say goodbye to a respected person and important to me. 7 years have passed in a flash. Geraldine is also 12 years old and step on the journey. Become an adventurer of your own. Geraldine's goal for this trip. It's the Adventurer Academy AS. Mentioned 7 years ago. At the Adventurer Academy, former students are training. This is also the time. Academy opens a new semester for new students in Geraldine's class. Now the boys and girls standing up to introduce himself to everyone. First is the short-haired blue girl named Louie. Is the daughter of a noble family, also a martial artist. When Geraldine, thinking about my 7 years of training, without basic communication skills, then the red-haired girl, Ina, also stood up to introduce. She herself is also a martial artist, and thanks to his outstanding talent in business, should receive a scholarship. While still concentrating on thinking, Geraldine was called by the teacher to stand up and introduce herself. Because of surprise, Geraldine immediately stood up and introduced himself. And it sure doesn't work like the others. If to find something to evaluate, then everyone's silence is best. Also not attract too much attention. The teacher began distributing team registration forms for everyone in the class. Is to want adventurers. This future finds the right teammates. Also a team. We'll train together next month. In a flash, the morning passed and it was time for lunch. Geraldine looked sad at this moment, holding a plate of steak, and sat down in the most deserted corner of the dining room. His inner thoughts is the self being distant, avoid because of lack of basic communication. Maybe AI doesn't want to talk to me either. And he was also thinking about how to communicate with the crowd. But Geraldine did not know that on the other side, Ina and Louie are watching him. Go to the side at the same time. 2 people are a BA Hair Knight. He introduced himself as Yuan, a swordsman also from a noble family. 3 people were talking about Geraldine. Both BA know Geraldine was admitted because of her magical talent is a possibility extremely rare among thousands. Moreover, all the teachers of magic say nothing left to teach you more, so say Geraldine is an extremely talented magician. All BA think that Geraldine is not talking to I because they are judging their people. Is he worthy to be your teammate? Get the point. Yuen gave Ra the application form with his and Ina's names on it. Louis' ultimate goal is Geldelin. Eugene confidently said that he himself was a top swordsman, with 2 top experts in both trade and martial arts. There's no reason why Geraldine can't be invited to the party. What a coincidence. The BA group of warriors also has the same goal as them, and will not let the Yuen group recruit Geldelin. As soon as he finished speaking, all 3 of them laughed out loud. This also caught Geraldine's eye. The person who was about to stand up to speak want to talk to people. This scene came into Geraldine's sight. It is the crowd that is having fun. If Geraldine opens her mouth, it's to ruin this atmosphere. In afternoon class, Geraldine's teacher mentioned that some families for not having enough money to pay for tuition, so the crowd can go out hunting and exchange it for money to live on. Hearing this, Geraldine realized that it was not yourself or so. Teacher also continued to mention that they could be together, create a team to improve performance. Looking at the crowd of AI people also found suitable teammates, Geraldine felt a little disappointed. While the Yuen group watched from the side, Ina, it is recommended to approach and make an offer to Geldelin. But in Yuen's eyes, Geraldine is challenging the whole class. Will AI be worthy of being my teammate? Yuen assuming Geraldine doesn't want to find an entangled AI and be strong. If any team brings too many people and invites, Geldelin will definitely refuse. If Geldelin hears this, you will surely die of anger. A moment. The men had returned from hunting and returned to the trading post. The BA warriors also think the same as Yuen. Need to prove your ability through what is hunted. So they have hunted quite a few and are waiting for Geldelin. Come back and see. But Yuen team hunted more than 3 of them. Much more. They are also waiting for Geldelin to return to witness. When THRE people Ina, Louis and Yuen are complimenting each other. Gold line came back and also passed 3 people. They went straight to the trading desk. See Geraldine returning empty-handed. The 3 people were a bit confused. But when I saw a pile of dead bodies, flying monster out of Geraldine's magic bag, then everyone in the hall gasped. Because in just a moment the monster corpses were piled up. If it were them, they definitely wouldn't be able to hunt that much. See, the BA warriors also knew their place and left. They also went near the 3 Yuen people, giving Ra a reminder. Geraldine holding a giant bag of money in her hand. Just wanted to invite everyone to eat a meal and was stunned by Geraldine behind. Everyone left long ago. Evening THRE people Ina, Louis and Yuen sat down and talked to each other. The fate of 3 people is the same, born with exceptional talent, but because of the status of the second son, so lost the right to inherit the territory. So all 3 people had to leave and search the right path for yourself. Louis himself was shunned by their brothers because of their abilities. And in the dark, her brother also secretly practiced. Must say Ina, she screamed unwillingly. This makes Yuen a little scared. Finally, the 3 decided to hunt more monsters to become worthy of being Geraldine's teammate. The next morning, 3 people went deep into the forest together. Ina reminds that going deeper will encounter dangerous monsters, but Yuen said it's okay. Sure enough, the reminder just ended. Ina sensed monsters around. A 3-man team was surrounded by a pack of wolves with new quantity, and there is also an oversized one. Even though the 3 were the top adventurers in their class, but in the end, it's just the top of the rookies facing large numbers of monsters. This is impossible. Just take a moment. The crowd was outnumbered by the wolves. when Yuen was scratched by a wolf. Gildeline was about to be killed by the wolves. Appeared he found 3 people in a distant place by magic perception, then immediately fly there. Use earth magic to create a surrounding barrier around 3 people. The rocks also completely destroyed the wolves. Back to dormitory. All 3 said sorry to Geraldine. Because of my own recklessness. Both B also said right thing. Want to prove yourself worthy to join Geraldine's team. But B also realized my distance from Geldelin. So they said they wanted to give up and find another way. Geraldine heard that and was just bewildered. Just as they were about to explain, their teacher opened the door, happily announcing that their class will be playing Count Blackadder. Hearing that, the 3 people all became excited because this might be their chance to change them. This agitation also appears in most of the class, except for the 3-man team. By THRE they knew that the whole class might be there, because they are Gildeline's classmates. The Count only wanted to see Gildeline, but Ina doesn't think so. She thought they could still take a chance. But the truth is clear to everyone. The scene changes. Geraldine's classmates dressed up and showed up at the Count's party. Count Blackadder looks so young. AI also thought it must be a middle-aged man. Suddenly, the Count was chatting happily with the guests, then turned to look at the crowd of students. Specifically, Geraldine Ina saw that the person coming was the Count. Was about to speak up to introduce but was ignored. The soldiers saw that and laughed. It is Count Blackadder. Going towards Gelderlin. After a few polite compliments, the Count asked to speak to him privately. Geldelin happily agreed, and also requested to bring along 3 Ina people, Louis and Ewan, and introduce them as his teammates. 3 people just stared blankly and went to Theo's private office. There was another person inside who came over to introduce himself. Everyone knows. Middle-aged man. In front is the Count's personal magician, and also Aphrodite's teacher. According to role, maybe Geraldine should call him master. Geraldine at the same time also know that his master's name is Berjanta, is an excellent mage in detection magic. So he can feel it. Aphrodite was sacrificed in the territory of Geraldine, and also knew that his disciple became a corpse. Geraldine just stood there listening to what Berjanta said. From his reasoning, Geraldine can be guessed, became Asa's disciple. In the end, he just asked about her feelings, Aphrodite before disappearing. When he learned that Geraldine had purified Aphrodite, he was very happy and thanked him for giving Aphrodite go away peacefully. After a while, the team of 4 finally returned, feel comfortable, and left the Count's room. Crowd talking to each other. 3 people. Ewan expressed that they just want to take advantage. Geraldine only. And also gave up the idea of becoming teammates with Geraldine. But Geraldine, just smile and say me too. Simply you want to drag along the crowd because I don't want to feel boring in front of elders. Hear that? 3 people were amused by Geraldine's words. Geraldine also expressed that I really want to be their teammate. Behind the 2 Counts and the magician walked. The Count said that because of Geraldine, brought back Aphrodite's storage bag, something that contains a lot of valuable items. After calculation, the total amount of money that Geraldine received was 1,000 gold. Hearing this number, everyone was extremely surprised. Simultaneously, Gildeline also inherited Aphrodite's mansion. He just wanted to say a very big sentence. The next day, Geraldine and Berjanta's group sat on a spaceship heading to the capital to attend the wedding. Geraldine's brother. To this moment, Ina still wants to ask Gildeline again is sure they can participate or not. But Louis had no such worries. At this time, she is still trying on clothes to attend the wedding. Ewan side is not so optimistic. He was scared and clung to a nearby pillar, just afraid that will fall down at any moment. Xanta guarantees that the spaceship will not crash, then make Ewan let go of the pillar with peace of mind. But if the boat falls because it is destroyed, there is still a possibility. They might be attacked by a dragon, for example. The words just ended. Beside the spaceship was surrounded by dark clouds. Appeared with a dragon bone. Indeed, when all the passengers know their boat being targeted by the bone dragon is getting scared too, and turn to the captain to find a solution, seeing that the representative of the spaceship stood up and reassured their boat will be safe because of the presence of the almighty magician. But unfortunately, Brian admits that his own abilities, not including magic, so he won't be able to take down this bone dragon, saw the bewildered faces of the crew. Santa confidently introduces Geraldine. Obviously heard this. Geraldine immediately lost all confidence. He didn't believe he could beat it. But Santa trusts you. Because if Gildeline did not have this ability, then will not be worthy to be AFS's student. The whole crowd rushed to the door of the ship's hold. Before leaving, Santa carefully instructed Gildeline. Furthermore, he will ensure the safety of this ship. Gildeline just need to focus on fighting. Choose the right time to cast the holy spell. With that, the ship's door opened. Geraldine also performed flight magic straight to the dragon bone. Just came to its mouth. Geraldine was welcomed by a series of attacks from the dragon bone. Geraldine casts magic to protect herself. At the same time, also try to avoid. See behind the boat is surrounded by a magic shield. Gildeline also somewhat reassured to regain spirit. Geraldine flew back in front of the bone dragon. Start to concentrate to cast holy magic. After a while of accumulation, to take Geraldine straight towards the dragon bone and fired a stream of holy magic. When the holy magic just came into contact with the bone dragon, his whole body was in severe pain, but it still risked its life to attack Geraldine. Just cannot break your protection. Inside the ship, 3 teammates are happy for Geraldine. Destroyed it. And Santa reminds Geraldine to collect 10 piles of bones and magic core while Geraldine was still looking at it. It takes a while. Geraldine just remembered the magic pouch next to her waist. Overcome danger. The whole ship was overjoyed. So they decided to have a party. Celebrate victory. Santa was surprised to meet an old teammate again. Is currently a famous businessman in the capital. He looked at Gildeline and praised. Also remind Gildeline that perhaps getting to the capital would be difficult in shopping. The party lasted until sunset, yesterday until dawn. The next day, most people collapsed. When the sun comes out, it was also the time when Geraldine's spaceship docked in the capital. Geraldine is greeted by the Royal Knights on a luxury car. They must have received the information. Geraldine defeats the skeleton. Long now wants to invite. Geraldine arrives at the palace. Meet the king and receive the reward. Geraldine had this experience for the first time, so feel very confused. But then he got in the car with the Kia businessman. Farewell to the palace. This place is indeed magnificent. Just walked in. Geraldine noticed. All around him were the gods watching him. Especially Geraldine. Also pay attention to the white-haired king. Sit in the center. Just saw this person. The merchant who was with Geraldine knelt down to pay his respects. Geraldine also did Theo. The king looked at Gildeline, then praised. As well as giving worthy rewards, Gildeline can take the title of Baron. With Dragon Slayer badge from Goldline. Can be separated from the family tree. Initially to establish a new branch. Gildeline takes office and made an oath to this nation. As excited, the crowd also received its news. Gildeline brother, also surprised about this younger brother. After receiving his position, Gildeline sighed. Same palace. Start trading on the raw material of the skeleton. Long. Currently the people in the palace are divided into 2 factions. One side wants Gildeline. Sell this dragon for 170,000 gold. Remaining is 130,000 gold. Both sides argued, causing Gildeline too speechless. It was not until the Pope stepped in to negotiate that at reasonable price is 150,000 gold. Then balance both sides. The merchant who was with Geraldine also said, "I think so." Of the THRE factions in the royal palace, people who want to sell at high prices want to attract people who want to sell low, then thinking for the palace. Even Pope Kia. In general, their purpose is to pull Geraldine under their control. The transaction lasted until sunset that day, just out of the palace. Two people met a cool young man, standing and dancing some spear techniques until a guard dragged him away. Then both of them came back. The next day, Geraldine's group showed up at Essex's wedding. Geraldine came closer, saw the tired faces of 3 people, asked why, and found out that the family's gift had not yet arrived. This is the face of the Geraldine family. Also know their elder brother refused to send gifts. Moreover, let them fend for themselves. 2 people, Ine and Louis, also talk about this behavior. This is not giving the Black Order Lord a face. By the Gelderland side ruled by him. The bride's side was ruled by the Viscount Monseza. This is an act that Shamus the Count, no different than the Count, are refusing to lend them money. The wedding went smoothly in the end, with a rich offering from Gelderland. This is taken from the reward Gelderland received. The evening light has fallen and the wedding is over. At this moment the merchant came to the side. Geraldine just gave him a jar of rice. This is also something Geraldine has been waiting for a long time. Geraldine wants to use this rice for fermentation, to cook a dish from his past life. The group of people went into the kitchen to work together, from kneading it to pressing it down. Wait until you get the fermented water. Normally this process takes up to a year. But by using magic, Gelderland has obtained the desired material. Geraldine also wondered about fermentation, can produce beneficial bacteria, and how it harms people. Also got the answer from the previous life. The next day, Geraldine went into the kitchen herself to cook this soup. When it was served and everyone enjoyed it, the flavor has conquered the taste buds of the mainstream crowd. Even Geraldine tasted it and couldn't help but say 2 words, satisfied on the papal side. He is in the office now. At this moment, his niece walked in, with the appearance of a nun. It seems she also inherited it from her grandfather. Just here the Pope said that he had found the right fiancé for her. And that fiancé is none other than our main character, Geraldine. Opening scene is the time. Just finished the baptism ceremony early this morning at the church where the Pope lives. Gelderland was fortunate to be honored by the Pope. Please join in this sacred ceremony. Go into the living room, Gelderland, with gratitude. To thank the Pope, because he personally invited me to attend. But Gelderland knows the sacredness of this ritual. Geraldine also returned the favor with a small gift. When both are happily chatting, Elise brought Theo's tea inside. Both sides politely introduced themselves. Look at this stunning beauty. Geraldine was a little stunned, made the Pope very happy. After knowing Elite can use advanced recovery magic. At this age, Gelderland was extremely surprised with this wonderful beauty. Gelderland guessed that Elite had a lot of followers. The Pope agrees with this. Also expressed that he wanted to. Elise lives by her own choices. No pressure. Forced her to become a Pope like him. Simply want Elise to live happily. Hear that Geraldine joked that maybe he himself also had to prepare many things for a chance to pursue Elite. Of course, this is just a joke. Little did Geraldine know that old Pope very serious when hearing this from him. Geraldine probably hasn't realized it yet, but still continued to laugh haha like an idiot. But when he saw the Pope's side was silent. Just use serious eyes to look at me. Geraldine could not laugh anymore. Just like that, the engagement between 2 12-year-olds was established. Just wait until both of you turn 15. Elise officially became Geraldine's wife. Geraldine did not expect either. Just a business trip. You have a future wife. When Geraldine returned home in a daze, then the old Pope and his butler, laughing happily. The old pope is probably blaming himself for the deception. Geraldine one blow too painful under the pretext of inviting to a baptism. But in fact it is to create a marriage between two people, Geraldine and Elite. But the butler asked about it with a worried expression. They will say so to the Black Order Count. Old Pope confidently replied that this had been permitted by the king. Even if it is a count, also cannot disobey the king's order at Gildeline Mansion. I is also happy because Gildeline is engaged to Elite. Only Gildeline is confused. Because of the status of the Earthlings, Geraldine still thinks that marriage should be about harmony, about heart and emotion, before getting married. At least two people must understand each other. But when I heard my brother say that, before marriage, I and my wife have not met yet. Even their eldest brother was like that, Geraldine. Just understood the ideas in this world, completely different from Earth. But it is not important at this time. Geraldine is transforming into a clown. Sole purpose is not wanting to be noticed by servants to satisfy experience street shopping. But it is true that everything has two sides. Gelderlin's work, clown. Obviously not recognized by the beauty, but is the focus of all discriminatory looks from people around. Geraldine was a little speechless, but Ewan still advised him to be an official. At least Geraldine won't be bothered. But when I walked out of the store, Geraldine saw the young man dancing with a spear yesterday. This is also one of your beauties. Geraldine was about to find a place to hide. The spearman quickly rushed forward and recognized you. Moreover, just look at Geraldine's teeth. Enough for him to know. His voice also made the people around him, realizing Geraldine's true identity. Everyone frantically rushed towards Geraldine. The spearman saw that, immediately show his responsibility, want to stop the crowd. But Geraldine was one step ahead. Used teleportation magic to bring Ewan back to the mansion. Sitting on the chair removing makeup and sighing. Geraldine must have been exhausted. See, his brother immediately suggested looking for a servant to chase away such people. Geraldine immediately agreed. Also select Ewan. Quick decision gold line. Immediately left Ewan with a bewildered face and left. It takes a while. Ewan just realized his identity has changed. Joy cannot close the airway. And Geraldine then appeared right at the papal residence. Maybe because of worrying too much, Geraldine appeared right in front of the Pope's window. It is also the time when the Pope is working. Geraldine, seeing that, he lay still and prayed silently. Not Pope, detected this risk just gone. Geraldine was called by a voice behind her. That is Elite. Geraldine, seeing that, he immediately pulled her hand and hid on the roof. Determined the Pope did not detect, Geraldine turned back to explain to Elise. Expressed that he wanted to meet her to talk. To make the meeting less awkward. Geraldine immediately took out the cake, which I bought this afternoon for her. But when she found it broken, Geraldine was just embarrassed. Hide it and get straight to the point. Beautiful sunset. Both sitting on the roof of the mansion. Look to the sea to enjoy it. Gildeline asks Elise what she thinks about this marriage. When he found out that Elise didn't reject him, moreover feel, marriage between two people is a good thing. All the worries in Gildeline disappeared. Just like that, Gildeline returned home in a very good mood. In Gildeline Mansion. At this time, Ewan is proudly showing off his new identity. With two people, Ina and Louis. Look at the jealous faces of the two people. Eugene was very pleased. Moreover, he also offered to say nice Beautiful things. Idea of two people in front of Geraldine if they want to become Geraldine's servants. Like you. The most enjoyable feeling is Ewan. Want two people to be my juniors. Hear this. Louis pulled Ina aside and started discussing. After a while, Louis said he didn't want to be Ewan's junior. So she decided to go with Ina, become Gildeline's concubine. Then they will be able to command Ewan publicly. Thinking about this feeling, Louis was extremely excited. As soon as she finished speaking, Gildeline returned to the mansion. Louis saw that, immediately carried out the plan to seduce her beloved husband. Only saw a 12-year-old girl wearing leopard skin bodycon dress, high heels, is performing extremely seductive dances. That's what Louis thought, but in Geraldine's eyes, Louis was like an eel struggling in the mud. Straight talk Ra is the idiot who is waving his arms and legs. Geraldine did not pay attention but followed her sister-in-law's call. Go to the dining room for dinner. Leave the fool. Louis continues his amazing dance performance. Late at night in my bedroom, Ina saw Louis was cutting up her new dress when she wondered. Louis is excited, said that he was preparing a second seduction plan. Hearing that, Ina felt a little helpless. But Louis was full of desire, said that being Geraldine's concubine was very good. So, she can fulfill her dream of opening her own dojo, will also be recognized by the family. Hearing that, Ina also regained her emotions. Tell yourself to try harder. But see the 8-part open clothes. 2 covers that Louis gave me. Ina is a little uncomfortable. Loud sound of the 2 people also entered Gildeline's ears. Below the yard, at this moment he was receiving Alice's invitation from Tay. Butler, that's her invitation to dinner for you tomorrow night. The scene changes now at the elite's mansion. Both of them were sitting at the dining table and enjoyed delicacies together. But in contrast to the magnificence of the dish, the atmosphere between the 2 people was a bit gloomy. From the beginning of the meal to the end, both of them could only exchange the names of the dishes, feel about it, and finally thank you. When Gildeline wanted to get up and go home, the butler approached. Remind him to have a gift in return. To show you are a child, polite person. Gildeline heard that and felt it was reasonable. But unexpectedly, the gift was an engagement ring in the jewelry store. After a while of choosing, Geraldine took the simple ring, but decorated with magic stones. Although its price is a bit high, Geraldine was still willing to buy it for Elise, to show one's sincerity. On the carriage back to the mansion, Elise broke the silence between 2 people by asking about Gildeline. Buy her this ring, because I know it is a magic ring. Will probably make Elise becomes more useful to him in the future. But Geraldine said he didn't know it was a magic ring. Plus I bought it because I felt Elise was perfect for me. This makes Elise feel the difference from Geraldine. Never seen before. Geraldine also used magic on the stone, thereby creating a galaxy scene full of stars. So romantic. If compared by level, rate 1 point. But in terms of effectiveness in flirting, this magic is definitely top-notch. Because you can see Elite is very happy. On the Pope side after dinner today, he asked the butler how to evaluate Gildeline. Hear that. The old butler said that nothing could be judged yet. Geraldine has something very special. Other person in front, Elise will treat her as a princess. But Geraldine is different. He treated Elise like a normal girl. So maybe more observation is needed. The opening scene is a 3-man UN team. Ina and Louis are enjoying a snack. Just chatted about the seduction plan. Beloved husband of 2 people. Ina Louis. Hear that Ina excitedly said they realized there was no rush because their summer vacation is almost over. The time they spent with Geraldine was long at the academy. Eugene heard that and nodded in agreement. Even though Sao is here, Gildeline still has Elise by her side. Just mention this name. Elise immediately opened the door and walked in, causing everyone to panic. Saw Elise smiling friendly greeting. When he knew Geraldine was not here, she immediately said her purpose. That is to ask Geraldine, what kind of person? From the thoughts of 3 UN people, Ina and Louis are still with Geraldine. Now he received a difficult problem from the king. The old man decided to send him to kill another dragon, even though Geraldine didn't want it at this moment. Must also accept. Because you became a baron. Time to do your duty. At this time, everyone also began to discuss strategy, the purpose of this dragon killing, so they can take the territory it occupies. If I get this land, will definitely solve the problem. Food shortage in the capital. Geraldine still felt worried after hearing that. What do you think with just 2 mages? It is absolutely impossible to destroy this dragon. Hearing that, King Tran was relieved that they were still in the court. Just finished a man with a big body. I'm full of muscles and come in with a mood. Extremely excited. Just saw this person. Xanta immediately recognized the 2 people happily greeting each other. See next to Geraldine, the muscle mage. Answer and here also enthusiastically greet and praised his achievements. Then the 3 people saluted the king and received their mission. Set out to kill the dragon? If not confirmed by Xanta, AMSN is a true magician. Then with such muscular body, Geraldine, surely he is a genuine martial artist. Then 3 people at the fastest speed headed towards military camp in the plains, where the dragon is occupying, to discuss tactics before marching to kill the dragon. On the side of Geraldine's mansion, his brother is in the same group as Yuan. Just received this news and are discussing it. Ezek supposed the king sent the noble Ra under the command of the dragon Slayer. Is purposeful. They want to occupy that land legally. So the mobilization of troops under authority is mandatory. If let other country take over, the king's side will lose a place. Potential for food growth. Moreover, when sending soldiers under command will also reduce the cost they will incur. Right now, the crowd was disturbed by the noise from outside. Only see the leader is the name of the boxer. Spearman with a troop of soldiers under Geldelin. Calling in. They want to go to the battlefield together to destroy monsters. Then Ezek saw that and immediately said that Geraldine is not available. So Yuan is your representative to give orders to these soldiers. Hear that Eugene immediately refused. Because I think I don't have this ability. But Ezek and to Ina people. And Louis said they would help. After a day of rectification, their army also mounted and marched towards the battlefield. Eugene understood that here, all soldiers want to contribute. To seize the opportunity to advance to a higher position, just like you were yesterday. In the business, 3 Yuan people are chatting, then surprised by the presence of elite. She said all the magicians recovered. We're all sent to prepare for this battle. Also wanted to ask about Geraldine's whereabouts. Knowing that you were on the front lines of the battle, Elite has a bit of 7 expectations, but returned because he could not meet Geraldine. Geraldine sighed. At this moment, 3 people were standing in front of the Dragon King. Just a jolt from the dragon sent Geraldine flying. Extremely vigilant, when feeling excited starts surfing Ra. It is also the time when THRE people enter the highest mental state, only to see a giant dragon appear later. Geraldine was terrified when she saw it. AMSN saw it and immediately used magic weapon on it. His whole body was covered with heavy armor, like a magician, transformed into a knight. Later, AMSN rushed straight at the dragon and wrestled with it. Xanta Shore reviewed this magic, even stronger than protective magic. AMS in full force to tame the dragon? Get the right opportunity. Geraldine outside also completed the magic accumulation. Only see the center of the dragon. A powerful magic formed. Then explode and completely kill it. Eugene's side of the group reunites with Elise. 4 people happily enjoyed the meal prepared by Geraldine. While talking about you, suddenly a knight approached and announced to them, Geraldine's group has completed the conquest of the ancient dragon, made 4 people extremely happy. Back to the gold line side. THRE people after conquering the dragon and collecting 10 of its corpses, and also said that dangerous just started. Found Geraldine confusing. Xanta mentions the reason why his master died. Then Geraldine remembered. That is the number. Slaying the dragon makes the surrounding monsters lose their threat. So they will attack THRE people. On the military side, also entered into combat mode to advance to the battlefield. Sure enough, the next few days, wounded soldiers appeared continuously in the barracks. The nuns are trying their best to use holy magic to heal until exhausted. Perhaps only this saintess still has the ability to use treatment. But the amount of magic power is also limited. Treatment from afternoon to evening also makes depleted magic. Right when she no longer has magic power. The ring that Geraldine The gift provided her with magic power to continue using current magic. Elise was extremely worried about Geraldine's safety at the front line of the battlefield, but when comforted by the soldiers, Elite also regained spirit to continue performing duty, his treatment for wounded soldiers, lasting until the next morning. At this time, the Saintess had also exhausted her strength, yet still happy to do the job. Suddenly, a soldier ran back to announce, with everyone, the frontline army returned with overwhelming victory. This makes for everyone at the back very happy and joyful. Elise then excitedly ran forward to search for Gildeline's figure. When Goldline appeared behind him and was not seriously injured, Elite just passed out from the hardships that she has been through. When Elise opened her eyes, it was already afternoon. She lies on the green grass next to Gildedine. Very peaceful scene. Geraldine praised what Elise did on the front line. Feel she is so noble. And also very because fun. They fought together to the end. When Geraldine just wanted to stand up to get food for Elise, then Elise hold his hand again and speak out your thoughts. She knows Geraldine don't want to be everyone's hero, but is forced to become a heroic figure in the eyes of everyone. Right now, Amster in excitement ran back to ask Elise. Gildeline also learned that Elise is Amster's magical granddaughter. In simple terms, it is a teacher-student relationship. The scene changes. People are currently moving things from the mansion. Geraldine arrives at the house in the capital. Ewan curiously opened a picture of Geraldine Raw, really cool with 2 Dragon Slayer medals. 2 people left Ina and Louis talking about her plan to become Geraldine's concubine. Right now, Alice's appearance made the 2 of them feel a little uneasy, but after listening to Elise, said that he would not care about the 2 people. They were Geraldine's concubines and were extremely happy. Maybe the wishes of the 2 people have come true. Sometime later, Geraldine's other brother's wedding also organized, but the ultimate goal of the noble families is to have a closer relationship with Geraldine, so they will go to Geraldine's brothers to be in-laws. Simultaneously, his brother also reminded him about Geraldine. Participate in the upcoming martial arts convention, including fencing, jousting, and martial arts. They also suggested that Geraldine enter the fencing category. Hear that Geraldine immediately said that he himself can use magic to strengthen myself, but unfortunately, martial arts convention, every year the use of magic is banned, gave Geraldine a headache. He thought if there was a subject of using kitchen knives, Geraldine will definitely win. The next day, 3 people Ewan, Anna and Louis still exercise as usual. But the 2 women seemed more relieved when using magic power enhancement. I was exhausted after running for a while. Ewan is a little angry because of 2 people. They all use magic to strengthen themselves. And you have to use your own physical strength to maintain, but cannot do anything. I said Ewan was born without mana, so can only try to persevere. Continue the rest of the way. The 3 of them also saw Geraldine flying overhead. Seems to be heading towards the Papal Palace to discuss some work. After completing the training, Ina, Louis and Ewan and Xanta are sitting on the sofa. Relax and enjoy food on the beach. Xanta mentions that 3 people, they will participate in the martial arts convention. Hearing that, all 3 were surprised and wanted to refuse. But when you know, it will involve Gildelin's reputation. Then both Ina and Louis both stood up and started practicing without using strengthening magic. Even Ewan was reminded by Xanta. If you don't try yourself, in just a few years he will be out of the team. Eugene assumed Geraldine would not do so, but Berjanta told him again, just don't be a burden to Geraldine. Is okay. Simply don't want Eugene to become arrogant. The scene changes. Geraldine's people are enjoying a meal together now. Looks like white rice mixed with seaweed. Very popular. At this time, the crowd also mentioned Geraldine will participate in martial arts convention. Hear that Geraldine immediately excitedly said that he had accepted to participate. More overjoyed so as not to embarrass yourself. Geraldine also mentioned that Alice would be participating in their team. The crowd agreed. Have one more healer is good for their team. Elite said it was a pity because there is no suitable subject to participate in the martial arts convention with everyone. Ewan heard that. His eyes seemed to increase in determination. Geraldine said that the champion of last season will not participate so they can reduce the immediate difficulties. But it is just one less difficulty in hundreds only. Ewan heard that, confidently say that will win for their team. Right after that meal, Ewan has pulled the team out to practice physical exercise. Like that they practiced for many days, from jogging to pulling. Even sword practice. Geraldine is indeed a novice in this subject, physically unable to keep up with the crowd. Even swordsmanship is hot-tempered. Hold also not steady. Over so many days THRE people I know. Louis and Eugene are still practicing steadily, and Geraldine was tired and sick. Indeed, Geraldine admired the will of the three of them. Especially you, and you have practiced swordplay hard, to the point of bleeding from the palm of the hand. Come back after a tiring day. Eugene just collapsed on his bed like that. Anna and Lou saw that Eugene was in a bad mood since hearing the news of last season's champion come back again. In the words of the Emperor, two of them asked Ewan, but he cannot be confident because of not possessing magical talent. This made Cho Louis extremely angry and he left, leaving only Ewan in deep thought. Look at the palm of your hand, have formed calluses. The next morning Ewan went to find Geraldine to ask about Geraldine. Will not fire you if Ewan doesn't win the convention. But when he saw Geraldine fall asleep from exhaustion, moreover unconsciously called Elise's name, Ewan gave up on this idea again. Even when hearing someone like Elise still practice hard for fear of hindering them, Ewan had a different thought about his own efforts. He looked straight into Geraldine's eyes and confidently said that he would bring victory to Geraldine. Then Ewan walked in front of the two people, Anna and Louis, to say sorry for being too confident in myself. And they continued to practice hard for the convention upcoming. Finally, the day of the martial arts convention has come. At this time, three people, Anna, Louis, and Ewan, are warming up before the battle. Only Geraldine was gloomy because he knew he would definitely lose. Right at the first match, the notification sound started ringing. The first match was Geldelin's. When you just came out, all the cheers, all towards the Dragon Slayer hero, is Geldelin, but the louder the sound. Key Geldelin saw his opponent was the champion of last season Jen, even more afraid. Not beyond expectation, Geraldine was defeated by the Jean in one blow. He returned to the observation area much faster compared to Xanta's prediction. Next is Ina's battle. Louis and Ewan. People can easily overcome their opponents and advance to the semifinals. Ina met the spearman and lost to him. Lost the chance to enter the finals. And Ewan, after trying, he was able to defeat his opponent and advance to the finals. Your opponent this time is the champion of last season. Jan, before entering the final, both met each other. This only adds to the pressure for Ewan. Go to the break room. Eugene was still in a very tense mood. Ina and Louis came up and told Eugene that maybe you haven't seen the lunchbox yet. Geraldine did for everyone. When Ewan just opened, immediately saw Geraldine's encouraging message. To me, Ewan's tense mood has changed. Take a quick bite. Ewan seems to have decided something. The battle that day took place, and the victory belongs to AI, everyone knows. But after that day, AI has also searched for a suitable teacher for itself, especially Louis. Her teacher is AMSN, the muscular mage that Geldeline met before. The scene changes now in Geraldine's hometown. His elder brother and his father working on his territory. It seems like a reclamation season is coming. Right now, the butler came forward and reported this month's taxes. He also used a wary look towards Geraldine's elder brother. But the old man said he had absolute trust, so the housekeeper had to report The wife of the crush also stepped forward and announced that there were guests from far away. Bring them a letter with information about Gail Dellen. Hearing this name makes me feel so uncomfortable. In the living room, he ignored the letter. His wife had to open it and read it. She was stunned to learn that the letter was from Geraldine. Died while exploring an ancient site. The scene changes at his mansion. Geraldine had now gone through 3 years of practice. Age also turned 15. You look so mature right now. He and his team also became a true adventurer. Key Geraldine, still screaming for adventure freedom. Xanta went and gave them the quest. That is the recent discovery of ancient ruins. Just identified the task. Their team immediately set out for the monument under the guidance of a veteran adventurer. But the king, of course, did not want Geraldine's team sacrifice, so the one who leads them is Berjanta. The relic appeared when they destroyed the ancient dragon. There were also a few veteran adventurer teams come here to explore, but all gone forever. All ask questions because our adventurer team so strong but still not return. There is only one reason. The monster they met was a dragon. Dragon related. The king immediately sent this mission to Geraldine's group. Is extremely reasonable. Geraldine is okay, but Ewan thinks that if they meet a real dragon, will surely be destroyed. Xantashore said their team name is 5 Dragons. Moreover, he also used magic to very safe around, so no need to worry. Louis on one side noticed the front gate. Everyone saw that and immediately went in. When the gate is opened, interior view except for a magic circle in the middle. Then nothing. They all do not feel any danger. Should go into the guy. Magic circle, but just a second later, Xanta felt the difference. It was too late when I shouted for everyone to leave, only to see each figure slowly disappear into nothingness. The last person to disappear was Elise. When Elise opened her eyes, she herself appeared in another place. From a distance, everyone is safe. Elise felt relieved and moved closer. Brown, look around with the sign on the cliff. He realized this was a reverse magic array. It will take the intruder from the first floor down to the deepest level. If you want to get out, you have to go up. Louis saw that and immediately suggested Geraldine can use teleportation magic, but Geraldine said that was impossible. Because you need to know yourself. Where are you? Then can be moved. The only way now is to do it yourself. Climb straight up to the top floor. Can get out of this place. Decide immediately. Gildalin's group immediately headed upwards. On the first floor, they were greeted with a golem square in huge numbers. Geraldine stood up and tried to use magic to get rid of them, but THRE people Ina, Louis and Ewan stood out in front. They will be the vanguard and need magicians to conserve mana in case they encounter a dragon. Both BA were easily eliminated. A large number. Golem with simple support from Berserker and Geldalin. Elite in the back. Heal attacked by golems. It took a long time and cost quite a bit of effort. The new crowd destroyed the golems. Inside the square, 5 days have passed outside. Everyone thinks Gildalin's team has been in the battle. Only Alice's grandfather remained calm and believed that they are okay. But the other nobles did not think so. Some of the Pope's opponents immediately sent a letter to the Crush's territory, wanted him to succeed the position of Baron of Geldalin, enlisted under his command for easy control, and one step closer to a higher position. Inside the monument, Geraldine's group still fought hard against the golems. They took turns fighting and battling each wave of monsters, but maybe because it passed too many floors, the AI in them was also almost exhausted. Sit far away. Geraldine and Elise are resting to recover their magic power. Geraldine looked at Elise worriedly and advised her not to use too much force. To save Elise here, that very touching. She also intended to remind Gildaline of the same thing. Then saw him leaning on his shoulder and falling asleep. Just like that, Geraldine's team continued to pass the next levels. AI is also exhausted. If you meet the boss, sure, they will not have enough strength to fight this last battle. Go to next floor. Everyone happily realized this was the last floor. Maybe they will get out of this place soon. But unexpectedly, what greeted them was a golem dragon. Not yet recovered. The golem dragon attacked them. Santa quickly used magic shield to block. Thought it was over. A series of golems came out of. Behind the crowd stood their retreat. Now Geraldine's group has only one fan left to risk their lives, to take the chance to survive and leave this relic. Geraldine saw the golem dragon continue to attack, so he went to help Regenta maintain the magic shield. Knowing that defense is not a long-term strategy, the two decided to put all their remaining magic power into it. To counterattack, Regenta drained all the magic power in his body. Pass it on to Geraldine. You take it all. Bring the final counterattack. But Gildadine underestimated the golem dragon. It gently returned a greater amount of magical power to Gildadine. Gildadine's attack was quickly repelled. A desperate Geraldine. At this time, I just want to say sorry to everyone for not being able to protect them. Just when Geraldine could stand it no longer, the elite in the back quickly approached Geraldine. Then use magic. Supreme to transfer magic power to Gildaline. Just the method of transfer is kiss. Elite then passed out in Gildaline's arms, and his attack was greatly amplified. After a moment, the golem dragon was completely defeated. Behind the golems also stopped attacking. Transition scene. By now, everyone had arrived at the storage facility, the ultimate treasure. There are two people left, Geraldine and lying in bed to recover. After being drained of mana, Louis is still complaining about Anna. Kiss Geraldine on purpose. Then Ewan called into the study. Louis walked inside uncomfortably. Geraldine and Elise, now also awake and go into Theo. Witness the treasure trove of magical knowledge. Magician's tools in the age of magicians. Extremely powerful. And the products he creates. The crowd was amazed and extremely happy. Maybe this is the reward for those who complete conquest. Monuments changing scenery. At this time, the adventurer group, Geraldine led the audience at the palace to discuss rewards. According to all that their team brings, everyone will get a reward. Is 2 million gold. Hearing this number, everyone is shocked. Don't tell me how much it's worth. If only calculate. Perhaps the descendants of each person's 18th generation. Not sure all this money has been spent. Of course, such a large amount of gold. The palace will slowly pay within 15 days. Return to his mansion. AMS immediately appeared. He felt a little regretful when Gildalin wanted to leave away from the capital, but this is also understandable. Furthermore, he also said that we'll investigate who spread the rumor that Geraldine died. This has surprised many people when Geraldine returns. Geraldine also learned about this for the first time, but you don't seem to care. The crowd began to discuss again about the huge bonus that they receive. After a while of unification, I'll give it to Geraldine to manage. Hear that, Geraldine? Have a little. Not suitable for the total amount of 5 people is 10 million gold. You don't know what to spend it on. Now on the other side, Joker's men, head of Dirty Media Group, spread the news of Geraldine's death, are meeting together. It seems that Geraldine coming back alive didn't bother him too much. Moreover, it is part of the Joker's plan. Want to take advantage of this to lead to a completely different plan. Geraldine sighed when he and his teammates were relaxing. Enjoy breakfast. A pink-haired girl was watching them from outside the window. Geraldine sensed that AI, but when he looked, Ross saw no one. Then Geraldine talked about finding AI that looks after the mansion in the capital when you leave this place. The crowd suggested that they needed to find someone strong enough, smart enough, capable enough to take on and loyal enough. The name that came to their mind at this moment was Yodezik. So right after that, they invited Yodezik came to the mansion and gave Rai his request. Yodezik was very happy when he heard that. Accepted immediately. This was also watched by the pink-haired girl. The crowd also realized this. First protect Gildelin, then run out the window to check. But she quickly ran away. Gildelin told the crowd that before leaving the capital, then need to do some work. Next, Gildelin, with teammates straight to the research institute. The interior was now built in the architectural style. Ancient times Geraldine also met. The professor bought the magic circle at the relic. As soon as he saw Geraldine, he smiled and greeted him. Geraldine said her request was to use technology from relics that they have studied raw. The only effect is to borrow magic power to create the object they imagine. Indeed, if this thing falls into the wrong hands, will certainly cause a big stir. Geraldine was thus easily accepted. Even though this thing is still in the testing phase, Geraldine decided to use it anyway. Only seen after a month, Geraldine goes through the process of concentrating her imagination. What appeared in his hand was Elite's underwear. Everyone looked at Geraldine and rate you exactly 2 words. Pervert, Geraldine shyly explained. Then continue to focus on creating what you want. 3 unconscious female teammates. Cover your hands under your body. This time for real. Geraldine created what she wanted. The crowd left with a cart behind them, something covered with cloth. Just stepped out of the institute door, quickly used teleportation to leave. The pink-haired girl saw everything clearly in her eyes. When Geraldine completely left, she approached the place and smelled the scent. This made the pink-haired girl think that Geraldine is doing something. The scene changes mysteriously at Geraldine's mansion. He is having a party right now to thank those to whom you owe. Even AMSN. I didn't think Geraldine would act like that before leaving the capital. He also loved him more than before. Right now, Geraldine pushed open the door and entered with a tray of tuna. Enormous. See people's curious eyes. Gelderlin continues to bring out the sauce. Special about this raw tuna dish. Aged 40 years. People also started enjoying the pieces. First tuna. Everyone could not help but praise. Because of the great taste of this dish, Joe Dizek, after investigating the culprit spreading the rumor on the death of Gildeline, reported this to you. That is Joker, the younger brother of Commissioner Joker. Geraldine thought she wasn't teasing him. Why do you want to hurt yourself? Rodisic reveals he is a boy. But he did not accept. I understand his personality very well. Just want to take advantage. Geraldine to approach the position. His brother's commissioner is Jaqen. Joe Dizek also said that he himself gave him a big gift because he spread false rumors about Geraldine's death. So he decided to spread the rumor that Geraldine's death was largely due to him. Even so is a rumor, so no one can investigate, but can make sense. The muzzle was locked for a while by the king's men. At this moment, the pink-haired girl also appeared at the window. Look at the delicious food, especially the delicious tuna. She finally could not stand it anymore and broke the door and rushed in. That. Ewan immediately wanted to stop, but was defeated by her in one move. Saw her gradually approaching him. Geraldine was a little scared, but the real target was the plate of tuna next to him. Found Geraldine confusing. Her father Edgar stood up to explain. First introduce her name is Zuma. The purpose is probably the same as the old wanted people to become a couple. But Juma only seems to care about food. Geraldine was decided in a word, then left immediately according to an ally to find tuna. Ronta came closer and explained. It's hero syndrome, one born with great magic and power. However, a large amount of food is needed to replenish it. Edgar cut to the chase. Wants his daughter to be by Geraldine's side as a bodyguard. You can even marry her, making Geraldine still unable to adapt. After a while, Geraldine just said that she will leave the capital and become a normal adventurer. Hear this. Edgar looked at Earl Blackwood in confusion. He received information that Gildeline will go monster hunting, not hunting. The Count heard this and said to Gildeline that there is a story of giving to Gildeline. The story stops there. But back to the scene at the Geldelin family. When the wife of the skeleton read the letter announcing that Geldelin died in battle, more core is required, will inherit the property and position of Geldelin. Hear this. Just be happy. But with shouted 7, the sound of his wife woke him up. Only seen outside the window, Geraldine's team appeared fully armed, looking at her and shit. At this time, Geraldine's group went inside and discussed with the shit side about the Count's conquest that year. Black Order to find the elixir. Now everything has passed, but the soldiers sent that year. There are many people who become corpses, even zombified. So they want to come to this place to bring about a great cleansing of the soul. Super cute dead people, but the code side is very upset about this. He asked Gelderlin's side. Must pay for things collected 10 at this place. Xanta also mean that. After robbery asked about the value of Gelderlin. Will pay me 30%. What 10 get? Then the robber decided to raise the price by 50%. In the back, Geraldine Ewan was upset for a long time. Because of Crush's unpleasant attitude, he was so angry that he argued back. Louis did the same. Moreover, say them into the black heart of the Crush that Geraldine now holds a higher position than he does. Make Crush can only talk with Geraldine that Geraldine's beauty. No rules. Geraldine reluctantly stood up to mediate. But in his heart he silently judged. My brother, that time, made his brother a very unpleasant person. That very night, the cops held a meeting to answer all people's questions. Heard the question that Geraldine will help them cleanse the dead spirits that are their family. Moreover, helps to retrieve relics. If not, shit will look extremely uncomfortable. Geraldine sighed. At this time, the group is having dinner at home of their second brother. Opposite of Crush, this second brother is very gentle. The family welcomed Geraldine's group very warmly. Geraldine also promised her sister-in-law that she would find her grandfather's relics. Make her very happy. The next day, Geraldine's team set out into the depths of the mysterious forest to purify the dead. Find the right location. The whole group formed a circle. Shout out loud, insulting words to the dead, to make them gather towards their area. Although Tiulin has lost his mind, but such words can make them agitated and rush towards them. Saw the appearance of the dead. Geraldine and Elite together create a purification barrier. 2 people join forces to create a barrier extremely large. Any undead that enters the range is purified, leaving only the armor on the body. After a while, Ina Louis' group was busy collecting the armor. When there is nothing left, they immediately wondered why it was just then like suddenly that. A sound of wind came. Only saw a flying lizard turned into a dead spirit, appeared straight towards them attacking. Seeing that, Juma immediately went up to fight. Only see girls' hands holding the umbrella, dash straight towards the flying lizard and launch a slash. A second past its neck was cut off down. At the same time, the whole body was purified by holy magic. Then came the waves of undead monsters continuously charging forward. The crowd easily cleansed them. After a while, the group looked around, see if you missed any dead souls. Alice's sister-in-law's grandfather. Seeing that, the 2 Geraldine elites quickly approached. See, this spirit is still conscious. Moreover, asking about niece. Geraldine said that she had lived a very happy life. The spirit smiled contentedly and let go of the sword. Elite quickly used purification magic. Just like that, their mission was successfully completed. Geraldine team, collect all the soldiers' relics for the people of this territory. When they were about to bury them, remote robber appears and asked to submit them to the blacksmith to supplement the missing iron. An old man in it said that the bodies of their loved ones were gone, so leave the armor behind for burial. While the stash was refusing, then Geraldine, go ahead and use a metal block giant to trade. Just leave upset. Geraldine plans to leave this place. Will proceed to collect the pile. That trash later. Later, Geraldine's group headed towards the Count's mansion. Blackadder to report mission completed. Geraldine then said that she herself can leave this place at will to be a freelance adventurer. But the Countess wanted him to stay in her homeland and rule there. See, Geraldine refused. Brigenta said that Geraldine's hometown is also NDTO. Very comfortable. Then the crowd returned to that place to complete the payment. Relics of more than 2,000 martyrs for their relatives. At the same time, they also met the family's butler, Geldelin. He invited them to attend the funeral. Elix becomes the host of this place. By the nun of this land is old. Evening. Everyone held a ceremony to commemorate the deceased. There is still a separate dining area and a memorial area. The fact that the shit didn't appear annoyed the old butler. Only his wife and children appeared. From gratitude, she brought her two children to the memorial, those who died in battle. Geraldine also met them and had a nice chat. Especially my two grandchildren greatly admired Geraldine for her glorious achievements. Ina's crowd. Louis also blends into the air. This fun atmosphere reenacts the battle between Geldelin and Dragonbone. Late at night, the ceremony ended and everyone went home. Geraldine and her teammates also said goodbye to everyone and left. Geraldine met the butler privately and requested be the master of this land. Hear that, Geraldine quickly said that he should not say this in front of my dad and crush, but the butler expressed, myself and the people here have the desire. Geraldine became lord of this region. If you entertain crush sooner or later, this place will collapse. The butler also knows Geraldine loves the freedom of adventurers, so he suggested that Yodesic could take over the management. He will do his best to help. Moreover, the rulers in the royal palace also wanted Geraldine ruled this land. Hearing this, Geraldine was confused. Brigenta appeared at the right time, explained the situation to Geraldine. Also repeated what the butler had just said to Geraldine. Two people, Geraldine and Brigenta, went to a quiet place to talk privately. Janta's girlfriend said that the king had expanded the territory of this country flamboyantly wide, but managing it is extremely difficult. By the lords of each land lived as a civilian all these years. So Geraldine become an excellent candidate for the lordship of this land. But this plan is a very complicated plan. If the king now deliberately forces the robber to give up that position and give it to Geraldine, many other lords would have similar concerns. So the king wants to kick shit out of this position. And Father Geldelin will have to leave this place immediately to correct the mistake of shit. Take the Geldelin reason, help this land purify the dead spirit and bring Geldelin in that position. But shit can be kicked away. Then Geldelin cleanses the dead. Make people support Geldelin for that position. Will make shit scared and try to kill Geldelin. That would make shit the guilty one. Geraldine also understood why all these days and no alcohol because of having to stay awake to stare at those who intended to harm Geraldine. Geraldine, just ask yourself how deep this plan is. But you know that this plan started a long time ago. This position Geraldine was forced to sit in. Geraldine must take responsibility for reviving this land. The next day, the group of people were sitting making candy. Just chatted about Geldelin. Will have to become the lord of this land. Geldelin's teammates had no comment. But Geldelin is extremely troubled by this problem. Until Geraldine's eldest sister-in-law bring two children to play. Geraldine just forgot about it. And the village chief, still standing in a dark place, and took a close look at Geraldine's sister-in-law. Evening, when the Geraldine group is at home having dinner, was then caught by the loud noises outside. Geraldine immediately brought along her second brother. Might go out and look, then saw that they were the people of this land. They expressed their support. Geraldine became the lord of this land instead of shit. Heard that Geraldine's brother immediately said that if this was heard by a robber, they will definitely be in danger. But the people are not afraid, but replied that they used their lives to take advantage of a better life for their children and grandchildren. so they will still choose. Geraldine became the lord of this land. Geraldine didn't know what to do at this point. Just express that you have no plans yet. Saw them start arguing. Geraldine had to persuade them to return and give answer as soon as possible. Fence we pay attention to the distance. The village chief was hiding on the side watching. He had to quickly follow Theo and stop him. Village chief. Xanta saw through the village chief's plan. Express support for Gildeline and incite the people to go first and die. If Gildeline becomes lord, Gildeline will definitely treat the village chief well. If not, then he is okay. Be seen. The village chief still pretended not to know anything before going. Just leave a sentence, be careful with your sister-in-law. Geraldine's robber side. He was extremely angry at this time when knowing people's support. Geraldine became the lord of this land. He will definitely not let this happen. Geraldine's side. At this time, the crowd was sitting down to talk about becoming a lord. Geraldine just feel a little annoyed and wonder that, if I become the lord of this region, then what will robbery be like? Xanta sure gets serious. Looked Geraldine straight in the eye and said that shit would definitely be destroyed by the royal family. Hear that? Geraldine's emotions were in turmoil. Surely Geraldine would not let this happen. The next morning, Geraldine went to her crush's mansion to negotiate, to avoid causing casualties. At Crush's mansion, two people sitting opposite each other. Crush is very angry right now, but still appear calm. To hear what Geraldine's purpose in coming here was. Gildeline, however, spoke his request cautiously. He himself wanted to own the unexplored land. In this place, of course the robbers are still the lords of this land. All basic benefits remain. Just when I retire, just give that power to Geraldine. Hearing that, the robber finally could not keep calm and knocked away the cup of tea in front of him. He flatly refused and said that Gildeline brought bad intentions here. But Gildeline was about to explain when he was chased away by robbers. Gildeline had to leave and accidentally met his sister-in-law. Both of us go out and talk about this problem. Geraldine also expressed that she herself, I don't know what to do. Geraldine at last just want to avoid any possible casualties, and his sister-in-law expressed that I don't care at all. Just want to protect my children. Helping them get along with Gildeline. Also a way to protect them. Then Gildeline returned home. At this time, the group of people sat together making Gildeline cakes. Say that yourself will become the lord of this land. So need everyone's help. Elite says he is always willing to help. Gildeline also felt somewhat reassured. The coming days, Geraldine, with teammates, organized trading of items from the capital at reasonable prices to win the hearts of the people here. Then they target the Crush's close associates by offering great conditions. Looks like Geraldine want the people around to leave to force my brother give up the lordship, make him mad. But Geraldine still gave her Crush a way out. First, he went to find a house, just enough for the mother and sister-in-law to live. Then immediately find a church where Crush can repent. Also the place where he hid his whereabouts, with the king through the help of Yodezik. Robber sighed, because all the limbs have left. He seemed to have gone mad and wanted to find out. Gildeline to kill you. Suddenly the Joker's henchman appeared and mocked the robbers for bringing only one knife, but also want to kill Gildeline. Really shallow thinking. So he brought Shock the dragon collar horn. This will be a useful magic tool enough to kill Gildeline. Make the ass very happy. He frantically held it in his hand as if it were a treasure. The next morning, Geraldine's team appeared in the magic forest, fully armed to face the Crush. Xanta sure, using magic sense, only detects robbers. And now he is heading this way. People are still worried that there will be reinforcements, but in the end there was only one robber. Say so. He has a trump card to deal with Gildeline. Then Geraldine went up alone to meet the robber. He still pretended not to know anything and asked, but I don't want to say much. but called Geraldine's teammates directly, hiding behind Ra. Then the core started to mock Geraldine. No matter how wonderful Geraldine is, from killing the dragon, then became the lord of this land. Then today we'll kill Geraldine. Just confidently pull out the dragon flute to confront the Geldelin people. When our people saw it, they were extremely surprised and recognized it. He said that thing can summon dragons to help the user destroy the enemy. Aina wondered if they had killed the dragon. Then what is there to fear? But what people don't expect is 6 dragons can summon a whole swarm of dragons with such quantity. Don't say some of them. Even an elite army with large numbers cannot do anything. This is also the reason why Shit can be complacent and fearless when facing the Geldelin. The ones in the back. Geldelin heard that and immediately started criticizing Shit, said that if he used the dragon flute, people around and the family of the Shit will all die. Hearing that, the robber laughed even more crazily. He thinks the black people betrayed me for sure. Must die. And his family died then, just change one. Then look at Gildeline. From hateful eyes to happy eyes. Shit supposedly after killing Gildeline. He himself will possess your title of Baron and use it to develop. The more powerful the territory. Geraldine doesn't care about you, just angry core, willing to abandon wife and children to pursue fame. Geraldine was about to raise her hand to cast magic, threatened if he dared to act. Will immediately blow the flute, made Geraldine not dare to act rashly. Behind the fence we waited for the right moment. As soon as the robber lost his guard, he launched a magic attack straight at the dragon flute to destroy it. But the attack was blocked by the dragon flute. Robbers are not harmed at all. The robber smiled smugly, then looked towards the crowd full of madness. The robber immediately blew the flute with the desire to kill all the people. Geraldine saw that, immediately wanted to turn towards the Shit to stop it, but was held back by Juma because she felt the thing was very evil. Elix also went up and said that she felt the curse in it. It's not a dragon flute at all, but a cursed flute. A magical tool that can summon the dead spirit to destroy the enemy. The price to pay is that the user is possessed by the spirit of death, will lose its original humanity and become one with its spirit. After all, robbers are just Joker's pawns. Saw the robber was completely transformed and is attacking towards me. Geraldine stood there, dumbfounded. Elix, hurry up. Use holy magic to block this attack. At the same time she expressed, I will be the one to purify this dead spirit. But the power of being alone, Elise is not enough to counter it. Just when Elise couldn't stand it anymore, Gildelin also regained his spirit and returned to reality. Maybe you have thought it through. Only saw Geraldine approaching Elise. Recommended for use with large area cleaning. When the two of them perform exorcism of the undead in the forest. Elix hesitated a bit, but when he saw Geraldine's determined eyes, she also used all her capacity to combine with Geraldine to use purification. Sure enough, thanks to Geraldine's help, they easily defeated this undead spirit. Body of Shit flying away, then turned into a ghost ray and shot off into the distance. Escape. On the other side, now old Joker is with the crowd of flatterers, are celebrating the imminent capture of Gildedine's territory because he thought his plan had succeeded. Even more perfect. He and the others started making fun of Shit. Is a fool. By believing the old man. Sense. The mechanism just wants to take advantage of the situation to seize territory. Sure, after getting the first one. The old man who eliminated the Shit while laughing and talking happily outside. The ghost of my crush has come. They broke the window and rushed in. It rushed straight at Jack and attacked him like crazy. Only see the next day. In front of Joker's mansion, was surrounded by the military to conduct an investigation. After preliminary examination, Joker and all the party goers were all killed by the robber's ghost. Outside the palace, Geraldine, Regenta and Amzer in also under discussion about this. They also talk about the fate of the crush's wife, because there are rumors about the death of Geraldine is caused by crush, so their wives and children were also considered accomplices. So being around people, shun and isolate, is understandable. Geraldine needs to find somewhere else to arrange for them to stay in the capital. Brigenta also saw that Geraldine became very different. Even if you deny it, then the difference is still easily recognizable. He also reminded Geraldine is a true aristocrat. That money, not used to fighting in the dark, along with the calculations of other nobles. But Geldelin was forced to accept it. Dinner at the dinner table. Although everyone's mood was very happy, but Geldelin became more quiet than before. Then he found Elise to confide and ask if Elise felt. Geraldine becomes a different person. Elise confirmed that she does and sometimes gets very frustrated. Geraldine felt that perhaps she was not yet adapted with this world. Geldelin decided to become an upright noble. Elise saw Geldelin gradually returning to the form she knew. The next day at the palace, Geraldine is attending the king and other nobles to receive a reward for your efforts in cleansing the undead. In the magic forest, the king first gave it to Geraldine, the right to rule over one's homeland, along with the undeveloped land next to it. But the king still felt this reward was not enough, so asked Geraldine what reward she wanted. Geraldine immediately made a request on the decision of the position for 12 vacancies after 12 nobles were murdered by the ghost of shit. Hear this. The king and the surrounding nobles were not happy. The most violent reaction was from the nobles. They think Geraldine is asking too much. The decision of the position was originally the king's. Some even proposed eliminating the reward this time and replace it with a wizard of equivalent caliber. Geraldine still wanted to explain, but was interrupted by AMS. He also thought that Geraldine should not have made such demands. And Ra asked the king that he himself will become the rule of that place. Hearing that, the king immediately refused because he needed AMS in the side. The king finally looked Geraldine straight in the eye. He still gave that lordship to Geraldine. Also upgraded Geraldine's rank, become count, and the right to decide the rank for 2 positions. Hearing that, Geraldine was delighted. Then take out the sword. Read the oath to the king. Everyone in the hall clapped their hands happily. Because it's not that they don't agree with Gildeline, but is acting before the king to Gildeline receive such benefits. The king also realized this and assumed everyone is a good actor. Only AMS in the cast acted extremely badly. He glanced enough to see Ra. Return to your territory. Geraldine first met her sister-in-law and said that when the 2 children of the crush, when you are old enough, you will return the position that belongs to them. And of course, if they want to. Otherwise, will not force. Hear this. Gildeline's sister-in-law was overjoyed. Moved to look at Gildeline's departing figure and say thank you. The following days, life as Count of Geldelin begin, from land reclamation to expanding cultivated areas. Also the scene that takes place at the beginning of the movie. Geraldine also realized all everyone wants. Geraldine became the lord of this place. Not only the nobles, but also his comrades. This moment created an extremely happy atmosphere and fun. Geraldine's road to lordship just beginning. The future is still long. What will happen to Geraldine? Please look forward to part 2 of the movie in the future.